What's up, guys? Welcome back for another video. So the 2025 season, it is in the books. We're moving on to 2026. We're going to be breaking down the Miami Hurricanes, the 2026 Miami Hurricanes, the runner-up to the national championship. The big question that's on everyone's mind, can they not just get back to the national championship? Can they get over the hump? Can the Hurricanes win their first national championship since that 2001 season? When you look at this team, it is definitely possible for them to accomplish that this year. There is so much talent on this team. We're going to look at the schedule, try to see if maybe early season-wise, if we can predict how many wins Miami's going to get in the 2026 regular season. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment below. What do you expect from Miami this season? Do you think there's going to be a little bit of a pullback? They are losing a lot of some massive pieces to the NFL, but they also have some major pieces coming back. They picked up some pieces in the offseason so far. This team, top 10 overall talent-wise, they can go to massive places this year. Would not surprise me at all if they're back in the playoffs, back in the Natty, and if they're hoisting the trophy. But leave what your thoughts are in the comment. I will respond to every comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out that pinned comment down below. So the Miami Hurricanes, obviously, Carson Beck's gone. You're losing Bane, Maui Goa, Mesidor, but you picked up some huge pieces to add to that, bringing over Darian Mensah. Darian Mensah, he has Cam Ward 2.0 written all over him. What he did with not a good offensive line at all. He had over 150 quarterback pressures last year, still number 2 in the entire country passing yards-wise, 4,000 passing yards, over 30 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. That's Cam Ward-esque. This guy's going to light it up. You know what Mario Cristobal's strength is, the offensive line. He's going to have much better pass protection. Carson Beck, with a quarterback with over 400 drop-back passes, he was the least pressured quarterback in the entire country. Not one, not two, not first in the ACC, first in the entire nation. Yes, they have a lot of guys going to the NFL, obviously led by Maui Goa on the right side. But this team retools, they rebuild, they work the portal, they recruit top 5 recruiting classes, top 5 transfer portal classes every single year under Mario Cristobal. The talent here is deep. It runs deep. The offensive line, that's always going to be the priority. Always going to be the trenches with Cristobal. He is one of the best offensive line coaches. You have Heatherman back for year 2. You saw the strides this team took in 2024. They gave up 33 points per game in ACC play last year. Heatherman's first season, the number 6 defense in the entire country, leading college football in total sacks. Mesidor and Bane, they were getting after it. Those pieces are gone, but this defense is going to be just fine. They picked up some massive pieces through the portal. They've been recruiting well. Marquise Lightfoot, don't forget about him. Lowe, Davis, Justin Scott, Moten, the run blocker. You have Wilson coming over. Torres back again. You have Chase Smith, Bonner, and this secondary. Much better this past season than in 2024. They're going to be a year older. Year 2 in Heatherman's scheme, they're going to continue to take massive strides forward. Frederic, Damari Brown, Thornton, Poisner, Xavier Lucas. There's so many guys here. Bryce Fitzgerald. There's a lot of guys here first year with the team last year. They're going to be rolling. Secondary is going to be locked down. That front seven is going to get a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. I don't think their defense takes much of a step back at all. Might not have the big games, Bane and Mesidor, but overall, I think the defense is going to be deeper, it's going to be more talented, and it might even be better, and the offense is going to be much better than it was last season. Middle of the pack offense last year, about 31.3 points a game. They're going to get back to that Cam Ward offense when they were number 1 in the entire country, 44 points per game. They don't have to average that. But I definitely think 39 to 40 points per game, that's where this Miami team is going to fall. They have so many weapons. You have Jacobs, Joshua Moore, sophomore, Cam Vaughn coming over, Barkade coming over from Duke, 1,100 receiving yards last year, Malachi Toney, the number 2 wide receiver in all of college football, next to Jeremiah Smith, the most electric freshman we've ever seen to me in the last 2 decades of college football. Dylan Upshaw, the offensive line, losing massive pieces, but they're going to be retooling with the number 1 player in the country, Jackson Cantwell, coming in. You have Elijah Lofton. you have Luka Gilbert. Look for the tight end to be a lot more stress position this season because Cam Ward loved Arroyo. They weren't targeting the tight end too much last season, but I think that was a preference of Carson Beck. You're going to have Mensah there spreading the ball out, getting into the playmakers. Might be the deepest running back room in the country. Fletcher, Chamar Brown, Pringle, the smash, the dash, the speed, the power. Very deep on offense, very deep on defense. But let's jump into this schedule. How many games do we think Miami's going to be able to walk away with? They actually start out with a pretty tough schedule in conference ACC play to open up the season. They're going to be opening up at Stanford all the way across the country. It's kind of weird. The first, 3 of 4 weeks are going to be on Thursday and Friday nights, which is a complete joke. This is the premier team in the ACC right now. They should have taken advantage of that. They should have a lot more Saturday games, not lumping them on Thursday and Friday night. Complete disservice to Miami. The ACC, the way the conference is ran, is very much a joke. They're going to beat up Stanford. This game's not going to be close at all, but this is the first time we're going to get to see Darian Mensah going up against one of the bottom tier teams in the ACC. They're going to light it up. This is going to be a 30 to 40 point win. They have to open up the floodgates here. Keep the nation on alert. Let them know Miami arrived last year, but they're here to stay. They're going to win this game. This is going to be like a 42 to 10 type win. And then after that, they're going to be playing FAMU. That's obviously going to be an easy win. Wake Forest, and this is going to be on the road at Wake Forest. Not going to be much of a challenge here. Wake Forest had a pretty decent season a couple years ago. Not bad last year by any means. But Miami's going to steamroll them. Mensah, he's on a Heisman campaign this year. He was already projected to be a first-round quarterback. Now he's at Miami with 2 transfer portal quarterbacks. Cam Ward going number 1 overall. Carson back off to the NFL. Shannon Dawson has showed whatever the quarterback is, he will completely adapt his playbook to their strength. They were a downhill running team last year. And now that you have Darian Mensah, he's not a running quarterback, but he does have some mobility. He's not going to scramble, but he can get out of pressure, roll the pocket out, always keeping his eyes looking down the field. This is the offense Shannon Dawson truly wants to run. Don't forget, he comes from the air raid disciple tree, but he loves running the ball. Miami will continue to run, but they're not going to be afraid to throw it, 25 to 35 times per game, throw for 300 yards per game, run for 170 yards per game. That's where I see Miami averaging close to 500 yards of offense every game. After that, they're going to be going up against Central Michigan. Game's not going to be close. They're going to win that one easily. And then you have basically what you can say is your first true challenge of the season, October 3rd at Clemson. Tough place to play. This is not the Clemson team of old. This is not the Clemson team that we've seen historically for basically the last 2 decades. They've taken some massive step backwards right now. Dabo's still the head coach. They are changing the offensive scheme, but they're still going to be running the air raid. All the veterans are gone. Cade Klubnik is off right now. They got Christopher Mazzina right now, probably going to be the starting quarterback going forward. They still have a talented wide receiver core. A lot of talent on this team last year. A lot of people actually had them winning the national championship last season. They were definitely favored to win the ACC. They didn't even play in the ACC championship. They barely played in a bowl game. It's not the Clemson team of old. Never overlooked them. They still have a very high-paid, very talented coaching staff. There's still a lot of talent on this roster, especially on the defensive side in the trenches. They're going to have a good offensive line. They're going to have a great defensive front seven. They're going to keep this game close. They're at home. They're still having a good season up to this point. Season's still early. The fans haven't lost heart yet. But I think Miami, Darian Mensah, veteran, 2 years as a starting quarterback, having played in the ACC, very familiar with all the ACC teams. That's what makes it such a perfect fit. He's not only played in the ACC, he won the ACC last year. I'm bringing all that with him to Miami. I think Miami's going to win this one. I think it's going to be a close, physical, hard-fought game. This is the game of the year for Clemson. Miami's going to be a top 10 team here. If they get the win here at home, that would give them some massive momentum going forward. I don't see it happening, though. Give me Miami winning this one. And then one game that's a rivalry matchup. Whenever you're playing a rivalry game, take the records, throw it out the window. This is still a talented team. This is still a Florida team. They're going to be playing Florida State. This game's going to be in Miami. They went to Florida State last year, won it handily. This game's going to be October 17th. After the bye, Miami will be fully rested here. Florida State's the unknown. Obviously, Norvell on the hot seat. If he loses this game, wouldn't surprise me if he gets fired when the game's over. They might not make a bowl game next year. That'd be that'd be 3 seasons of not making a bowl, but we don't know what to expect from the Seminoles right now because they work the portal so much. They don't really like recruiting. You gotta concentrate on recruiting. Use the portal at a high level to bring in the missing pieces to kind of top your team off. But when you rely so much on the portal, there's so many unknowns. They've hit the home runs before. They've won the ACC through the portal, barely missed out on the playoffs through the portal, and then they've won 2 games before because the portal pieces did not adapt, didn't fit. Back-to-back seasons of the quarterback situation not working out. DJU, Castellanos, they're using the portal again for the quarterback position. Gus Malzahn stepped away from college football. Now Mike Norvell back to calling plays. Some people like that. Some people don't like that. I don't honestly think this game is close. I think Miami rolls Florida State. Right now, they'd be 6-0 halfway through this season. And I think this is a multiple possession win. They win this one like a 34-17. Next matchup, October 24th versus the Pittsburgh Panthers. Miami went to Pittsburgh last season. Pittsburgh always plays Miami tough. I don't care what the records are. For some reason, this is a team that can always slip up Miami, especially when Miami's rolling. They have a lot of momentum. They always hit a roadblock. Wasn't the case. Miami blew their backs out last season. That's really, to me, what catapulted them into the playoffs was the performance first pick, as you can compare that to the Notre Dame performance first pick last year. Pitt, Narduzzi, they're always going to be a trench warfare type team. They were airing it out last season. Heinschel, great season last year, took over the starting quarterback spot. This team never looked back. One of the most electrifying offenses in the country. They're going to have weapons. They're going to have the quarterback another season under his belt. Pitt's they're going to play Miami really tough. But Darian Mensa to me gives me so much confidence in this team. What separates this team from the 2024 team is they're going to have a top 20 defense. They might have a top 10 defense again this season with a much better offense. One of the deepest, if not the deepest wide receiver core in the country. The deepest running back room in the country with a top 5 overall quarterback. Heck, Mensa might win the Heisman next season. Not to build up too much hype here, but it is what it is. This guy's good with the talent around him, with the offensive scheme that the Hurricanes run, with that offensive line. Miami beats Pitt. They're still undefeated. And one team, they always again play Miami tough. October 31st, the UNC Tar Heels. This isn't Mac Brown, though. Miami never beat Mac Brown when he was back at UNC a couple seasons ago. He's gone. You have Bill Belichick here now. This isn't the Patriots. Tom Brady's not suiting up. Bill Belichick has completely lost his edge. The guy's out in left field. It's time to retire. Get to the Hall of Fame next year. Hang it up. Take your girlfriend. Go back to the house. It makes zero sense to me that he's the Tar Heels head coach, but he is what it is. They're going to have a good defense, but I in no way expect the Tar Heels to come to Miami, compete with them in Miami. That's not going to happen. Bill Belichick's not going to know what hit him. I have the Hurricanes winning this one, and they're 8-0. We heard it all last year. The Miami Hurricanes, there's going to be some game on the schedule. They're going to slip it up. When I did my early season predictions for the Miami Hurricanes last year, I had them finishing the regular season 10-2 and making the playoffs. The games I had them losing, SMU, Louisville, I don't know what the odds are. That's the 2 games they lost. They made the playoffs. I don't know what the odds of that happening are, guys, but it happened. Check out my video back in August of last season. The next game might be the slip-up game. Miami's been rolling. Do I think they're going to go 12-0? They have a definite possibility to do that. It's very hard to go undefeated. Having a loss does not derail the season in any way whatsoever. This is the toughest game on their schedule. It's not even close. They're going to the Notre Dame Irish all the way to Indiana. It's going to be cold at this time, November 7th. Notre Dame probably going to be a top 10 game. This is going to be the game day game. This could be top 5 versus top 5. This could be one of the best games of the season. Miami edged out the Irish last year. That's what got them in the playoffs. The Irish want revenge. Miami wants a staple. Do it again back-to-back seasons. This is going to be a close one. I'm going to go with Miami dropping this one very close, like a 28-24, 27-24. The only thing that makes a difference, home field advantage is usually a 3 to 4 point predictor there. That's a 3 to 4 point swing for the home team. I have that making a difference. If this was in Miami Hurricanes win, it's at Notre Dame. Give me the Irish winning this one. Miami right now 8-1, still a top 10 team right now. You don't want to lose this one, but at least you can afford to lose 1 or 2 games during the season. If they drop this one, no reason to panic, guys. Miami fans, don't shut the video off. You're probably going to drop one at some point this season. The hard thing is trying to find the game you lose. I don't have Miami slipping up this season. Losing to Notre Dame, that's not a bad loss. I don't have them losing one of those upset games. It's not going to happen. Cristobal showed me so much last year. He's starting to grow as a coach, and Miami's growing with him. Then after that, can the ex-Miami coach Manny Diaz pull off the upset? You have Duke November 14th. They stole Darian Mensah from the Blue Devils. Can the Blue Devils get some revenge? The San Jose transfer portal quarterback coming over. Duke, defense is Manny Diaz's specialty. Their defense was completely atrocious last year. One of the best offenses in the country. They've had a good offense the last couple of years. This is going to be personal for both these teams. Just unfortunately for Duke, they don't have the talent to exact revenge, especially in Miami. I don't see it happening. Miami wins this one easily. They're 9-1. You have James Franklin coming over to the ACC. Virginia Tech, top 25 transfer portal class coming in. They had to completely revamp this team. November 20th versus the Virginia Tech Hokies, but you're not going to Virginia to play this game. That's going to really help Miami here. This game is in Miami. It's not going to be cold, not going to be a blackout at night blast. Very tough place to play on the road at night. They get the Virginia Tech Hokies at home in Miami. Miami rolls this one. They're 10-1, and there's one game left over. And it's an easy one. Boston College, November 28th, the Boston College Eagles. They don't have a good offense. They don't have a good defense. Honestly, they don't do anything particularly well. Miami stole one of their players through the portal. Miami wins this one. They win easily. Multiple possession win, like a 38 or 44-13. They finish the season 11-1. That's going to get them in the ACC championship. And no matter the outcome there, Miami might win their first ACC championship this season. Actually,